Canadian Entertainment Podcast. Canadian Entertainment Podcast. It's a Canadian Entertainment Podcast. Canadian Entertainment Podcast. It's a Canadian Entertainment Podcast. It's a Canadian Entertainment Podcast. It's a Canadian Entertainment Podcast. It's the Canadian Entertainment Podcast, hosted by Ben Stagger.
Canadian Entertainment Podcast fans, are you listening? It's me, your host, Ben Stagger. I'm back. And yeah, it's a solo episode this time. No more guests for this week. But we got amazing reviews on our previous two episodes. One was with Hilarity Strikes, amazing sketch troupe out of Canada, and the other was with Rodrigo Fernandez Stoll, amazing comedian and actor from Canada. You know where you are. It's the Canadian Entertainment Podcast. You come for what's going on in the world and personal anecdotes about me, your host, Ben Stagger's anecdotes of his time navigating his way through, you guessed it, the Canadian entertainment podcast industry. Oh, wait, and the Canadian entertainment industry. But enough about me. How are you doing? What's going on? Should we do a listener mail segment sometime? Johnny from Vancouver says, what's going on with Days of Our Lives Canada? Why hasn't it come to Canada yet? Johnny, when were you born? Were you born in the 40s? I don't even know if Days of Your Life is on anymore in the States, let alone Canada. Sorry, are you are you an interdimensional being and you came from a time where you went on IMDb and it was said that Days of Our Lives Canada was coming up? Because I haven't heard of that, and my ear is on the ground to most things Canadian entertainment-wise. So we're going to have to talk about that, Johnny from Vancouver. That would be an example of what it would be like. So maybe we get that going. I got an email last month that I do think I pay a yearly subscription to have a business email to my website. But if you send some listener questions, direct messages to the Instagram page. How about that? Because I still don't know if you should give out emails or not. Even I don't know. I'm an entertainment guy, not a tech guy. I was in charge of tech at a law firm once in my life in a long time ago. I might have talked this on the first episode, but I got too stressed when I had to upgrade the law firm from, I believe, Windows 7 to Windows 8 or 9. I got promoted from the mailroom to tech, no tech experience besides owning a couple smartphones. Used to have a Twitter account, now X. Used to have an X account. I got the promotion, right? And I got far too stressed when having to go from Windows 7 to Windows 8. So that was kind of my stint in the technology field. I'm not saying I'm going to go back. Never say never, but there's probably an AI language model named Fred or something doing my job. Like, let's be real here. We are so back. We are so back. And it's September. Hooray. Who's back to school? Should I open up a Canadian entertainment university? Well, okay. So for my international viewers, a university is Canada's college. So sometimes in America they're like, "Well, I'm going to college." Well, in Canada it's like, "Okay, well we have colleges, but we also you call what you call a college our university." Sorry, I'm not a Canadian translator, but you'll you'll understand one day. Um, but yeah, so should I open up a Canadian Entertainment University, CEU, or Canadian Entertainment College? That would be good. Who would enroll? Honestly, I could teach about Canadian entertainment podcasting. I could teach about navigating yourself in the Canadian entertainment industry, and I could teach about Canadian entertainment anecdotes, how to write a Canadian entertainment anecdote and talk to people about it on a podcast setting. I think this is a good idea. Maybe we aim for 2026. That seems reasonable. Who knows? But thank you again for joining us. We're just recalibrating to a solo episode. There's a lot going on. Back to school. Summer's over. Summer has officially ended. Canadian entertainment summer has ended. It was a wonderful Canadian entertainment summer. Wonderful summer. Made a ton of content. I made a ton of videos this summer. I made some Instagram stories. I have so many memories of all the content I made. Of course, I think the last thing I posted, the last big video to cap off the summer, was a live performance of me performing stand-up comedy as the Wicked Witch of the West. My dream. I performed as the Wicked Witch of the West, and it was just absolutely my dream come true. I truly felt somewhere over the rainbow at a bar called Tall Boys. I just gave it my all. The essence of Mrs. Gulch and Margaret Hamilton was pumping through me, and it was such a genius performance. I posted about a 1-minute clip, and I was like, yes, this is the clip that we will end the summer with. And it got about 160 likes. Yes. I was thinking about this recently. I talk a big game about Wicked Witch of the West. Of course, I made a historic Instagram post. Before that, I believe it was a carousel post detailing my plans, my big fall announcement that at 10:30 a.m. on October 31st, I will be showcasing my Wicked Witch of the West costume to the whole world. So you will want to stay tuned for that, because there are some surprises, and I honestly think that my take on the Wicked Witch of the West costume, what I have planned, is unlike anything you've ever seen before. But yeah, I have been talking about a big game online, mainly on Instagram, about just Wicked Witch of the West, and how I relate to Mrs. Gulch, aka the Wicked Witch of the West, played famously by Margaret Hamilton. But of course, there's a Wicked movie coming out, which we will talk about in a later episode. But I do look up to the Wicked Witch of the West, aka Mrs. Gulch, her Kansas persona. Well, they might not even be the same person, played by the same actor, but the jury's out on that's up to the viewer interpretation. And the Canadian entertainment interpretation formally is she can do whatever she wants. If she wants to be Mrs. Gulch and a witch, go for it. If she wants to just be a witch, yes. If she wants to if she wants to be Margaret Hamilton. So, yeah. In the name of Mrs. Gulch, 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 Margaret Hamilton, Wicked Witch of the West, Amen. Wicked Witch of the West, you are awesome. Some say that magic is an evil thing created by Satan, but the way you use magic, I disagree. I think you're looking out for your family. Dorothy's house hit your sister, and you came to see how it hit your sister, and her legs, they went into a twirl. Then the ruby slippers went on to Dorothy, and you got angry. Understandable. Some people hide and compartmentalize their anger, but you told Dorothy exactly how you were feeling. And how could you be hated for that? Then you just wanted to get your sister's shoes back. So you consulted with your flying wing monkeys. You employ around 80 to 100 flying wing monkeys, and I believe you give them paid vacation every year. I think you're incredibly misunderstood. You're also allergic to water. And a 16-year-old girl named Dorothy took advantage of that because she stole your sister's ruby slippers, and she poured water onto you, and you died. But I'm so happy for what you did, the good things you did. We are all flawed. I don't think that you used magic for evil. I think you were just really trying to reconnect with your sister. And that's family. Sometimes it's important to keep a strong family bond. I'm sorry about what happened, but honestly, you're great. Thank you for everything. Thank you for believing in me. In the name of Mrs. Gulch, Margaret Hamilton, Wicked Witch. Amen. So that's a Wicked Witch prayer that I have, that I wanted to say. I just, yeah, God, see, you're a Wicked Witch. You're a lot, I don't know. I just wanted to try that out. I don't know. I wanted to try that out. But, so the thing is like, I've been talking a lot about the Wicked Witch in the past little bit. And, I've been talking a lot of talk about the Wicked Witch in the past little bit. But I look up to her, but part of me actually thinks that I'm closer to the Cowardly Lion. So I'm a Cowardly Lion who wants to be a Wicked Witch, right? I want to just be focused on a mission, but sometimes I have traits of a Cowardly Lion. And people say that admitting that you are close to the Cowardly Lion could do irreparable damage on your career if you are pursuing a career in the Canadian entertainment industry. But what do I have to lose? I can be a Cowardly Lion. But on some days, I can be a Tin Man too. And on other days, I can be a Scarecrow. I'm not afraid to say it anymore. Some people say that if you do not believe in yourself every day, that you can never make it in the Canadian entertainment industry. But I say it's possible that people say that, but maybe there's an element of dishonesty. That's all I'm going to say. Because sometimes I could be like the Cowardly Lion. I could relate to him. But I'm trying to be more like the Wicked Witch. And if any of the bigwigs from any of the couple networks in this in this vast country are listening to this, don't rule me out just because some days I don't believe in myself like the Cowardly Lion. Thank you. Miss Gulch, thank you. Wear a helmet, Miss Gulch. Miss Gulch, wear a helmet. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Miss Gulch, wear a helmet. It's a big green bruise, right, on her face. That is a massive green bruise because she wasn't wearing a helmet. She was wearing a fascinator. A beautiful fascinator, mind you, but fell on the fascinator and it turned into a cone. Then you have the Wicked Witch of the West. There was a time jump. So one thing I am considering, because again, in the Canadian entertainment industry, you literally have to do everything. I have considered making a Wizard of Oz open world game where essentially you can create your own Oz character that joins up in a party with Dorothy, and you go visit the Wizard of Oz and you get a gift from him. So the Wizard of Oz gave a little heart medal to the Tin Man. He gave a diploma to your buddy the Scarecrow, and he gave a hot air balloon to Dorothy. We are forgetting at this moment in time what he gave to the Cowardly Lion. But essentially, it's an open world game, your main goal is to visit the Wizard of Oz and get a gift from him, whether it's a spoon or a nail or whatever he has in his pocket. Whatever he has in his pocket, and yeah, so that's just something I'm thinking about, Wizard of Oz open world game, because sometimes you have to do it all in this industry, and that's just the hustle and the grind culture of the Canadian entertainment industry. So I'm about to take a drink of water. This is a delight for the visual fans. New water bottle. Yep. Dollarama. And we're gonna have a episode strictly for Dollarama on very soon. How come they never had a commercial? How did they grow so fast? So Dollarama is like the Dollar Tree of Canada. It is one of the big stores that you'll remember for the rest of your life. If you come to Canada, and they've never had a commercial, they do no advertising, and I'm like, yes, word of mouth marketing has worked for you guys, and I'm so proud of you, Dollarama. You haven't even had to use the source of Canadian entertainment to make a entertaining commercial to get people to come to your stores, or Canadian entertainment graphic designers to make a graphic design flyer. You haven't had to use anything. Your word of mouth, and I respect that so much. I'm so proud of you, and I will remember you for the rest of my life, Dollarama. I just want to say that. Cheers to you, Dollarama. Cheers to you. And that's a good sip of water. Water not included, I noticed, though, with this water bottle. The water wasn't included. They got to cut costs somewhere to keep the prices $15 or under. See, they call themselves a dollar store, but they also do charge $15 on some items, which I find it's captivating. It's captivating what they do. It's word of mouth. It's always busy as heck when I go in there, and I respect the hell of them. And that type of word of mouth thing is what we're trying to do. So spread the word about the Canadian Entertainment Podcast. It's not just for Canadians. It has a universal message of Canadian entertainment for the whole world. It's a hero's journey, this podcast, and you're a character in it, right? This is a collaboration. You know this already. Whatever. But thank you very much again. So, what's been going on with me in the world of Canadian entertainment? This is the question on everyone's mind right now. Well, I have a project that I've been working on for a lot of the summer that we hope it will come out one day, and we look forward to sharing it with every one of you. So that is something that I'm excited for. But also, this seems to happen a lot, but I have written so I have written a new hit song that I'm excited to show the world one day. And I went in the studio and I whipped it up, and I just work on mixing it obsessively, as I can do sometimes. So I'm excited to share that with the world. Will it be the next On Monday Life Feels Crazy? We never know. Did I already release an album this year that one day that we're figuring out? Yes, I did. But sometimes you just want to do it all. That's why I say I'm an entertainer, because I want to do it. But at the same time, I need to focus, like the Wicked Witch. I need to focus. She had a mission, get the ruby slippers back, and that's what I need to do too. I look up to her so much, and her pointed hat, and her nails, and her broomstick. She is such a legend, and I respect her in an intense way. Oh, yeah. So I went back in the studio, wrote a very organ-focused song, also working on my waltz from last year. We may send these songs out to Parliament Hill, which is like the White House of Canada, and say, what do we think? Can you guys legislate every Canadian to listen and like this song? Like, can we legislate every Canadian to not only listen to this song but enjoy it? And we'll see what happens. I really am confident. Be like the Wicked Witch. Be wicked, right? Wicked's a good thing, correct? Now, it's funny how times has changed, right? Because literally when that movie came out, she was literally as mean as Ellen, right? In the movie, she is acting as mean as Ellen. But now we see Wicked as a good thing. So much so that she got her own movie. Okay? There was never a Dorothy movie, but there's a Wicked movie based on the Wicked Witch of the West. Everyone thought that Dorothy was the star that she would get, or Toto perhaps, right? Or think about a Cowardly movie. Cowardly. No, it was the Wicked Witch, because wicked is now a good thing, right? Just like the word, how some people say sick. Sick is now means good, as does wicked. So you're a genius, Wicked Witch, and we look up to you with all of our hearts. And green means, isn't that interesting? Green, the color of the Wicked Witch, means go. Red, the color of the ruby slippers, means stop. Oh, so I should just stop everything in my life and not pursue Canadian entertainment anymore? No, green light says go for it. Go pursue Canadian entertainment with all of your heart. The heart of the Tin Man. Do not be a coward, be a hero. Because I believe that after the Cowardly Lion visited the wizard, he did not become a coward anymore. He was the hero lion. So you need to be on the hero's journey. You have the heart, you have the hero of the lion, and you have the brain, and you have the broomstick, and you have the ruby slippers, and Toto. What did Toto get? Why didn't Toto get a gift from the wizard? That's so interesting. Maybe he got microchipped. Maybe he got microchipped so that Dorothy would never lose him again. Because part of the reason she got into this whole thing was because Toto ran away, or Mrs. Gulch captured him. And she had to run after, and then she literally was in a twister. Sort of like a movie that came out this year called Twisters. Why is everything connecting to me right now? Life is literally... They're not wrong in The Lion King when they say that there's a circle of life, because literally everything connects. Huh? Anyways, well, thanks everybody for listening to this. You guys are awesome. You guys are too awesome. Too awesome to me once again. Taking it's hard. Pursuing entertainment, it's a gamble. That's why we wear the Vegas hat, right? That's why we wear the Vegas hat. Pursuing a Canadian entertainment career, it's a gamble. You gotta be a gambler, right? But after you pursue entertainment for a couple of years, and sometimes you could literally be pursuing entertainment for a number of years and forget. Okay, so entertainment is what entertainers do, but what do they work in? Oh, they work in show business. So you could remember the show part, but you could forget the business part for a couple of years. You can forget that this is also a business, right? So you're actually, when you come into Canadian entertainment, you're coming into Canadian show business, which is actually code for it's Canadian entertainment plus Canadian business. So this is what we are pursuing. And sometimes you forget that because sometimes you're just thinking, oh, entertainment, but it's also a business. And they say in a business, you have to take some risks. Owning a business is a risk. It's an absolute risk. Allegedly, well, I know it's a risk. But after pursuing Canadian entertainment for a number of years, you might have people in your life. They're like, go for it. You're going for it. You're going green. Like Mrs. Gulch, you're going for it. You're going. But then they're like, which I get, they're like, but don't take any more risks. Please, for the love of God, do not take any more risks. Just show, but don't. You've taken too many risks and you're cut off for risks right now. Please do not take any more risks. So yeah, that's what I think sometimes. I don't think too many people have said that to me directly, but sometimes you think people are saying that because I can also read minds because I have magical powers that Mrs. Gulch gave for me to do good. It's weird that Mrs. Gulch, aka, I honestly believe in Wicked she may be called Tabitha, but I could be wrong. I gotta research that a bit more. Mrs. Gulch, aka Tabitha, aka the Wicked Witch, aka Margaret Hamilton. Ding, we'll talk about that in 1 second. She took risks, right? She went green. Go green. 2024 environment. This is connecting on a deep level for me right now. I look up to you, Mrs. Gulch, Margaret Hamilton. Can we talk about, and if we had a producer this episode, I would say look up if Margaret Hamilton ever went to Hamilton. Did she go to the Dosco steel plant? Because you know what is so interesting? When you drive on this beautiful bridge in Hamilton called the Burlington Skyway, you see all of Hamilton, and you see these steel factories, because Hamilton is the steel factory of Canada, perhaps the steel factory of the world. I truly believe that. That's where metal Canadian Mario is made. Anyways, more on him later. But I literally drive occasionally when I have given access to a car and my Canadian Entertainment broomstick is not working. Jokes. So I drive on this bridge sometimes, and then you look at these steel factories. You get a good view of these steel factories, and all this fire is coming out of these steel factories, like controlled fire coming out of big pipes. And every time I'm on this highway and I look at this fire coming out of these factories, I think to myself, Margaret Hamilton would love Hamilton, because that would remind her of when she was on set and she was portraying her favorite character, the Wicked Witch of the West. Some call Tabitha. I believe that's her name in Wicked. I cannot fact check, but I believe that. Margaret Hamilton would love Hamilton because she would see this fire and it would remind her of her time in Munchkinland when she confronted Dorothy and she said, "No, those are my sister's shoes. Give them back." It kind of reminds me of the story of Holes. Let's not forget Holes and the shoes. There's a lot of stories about shoes. Cinderella. And so all I'm saying is Margaret Hamilton, she would look at the Dosco Steel Factory in Hamilton and she would said, "Oh my gosh, this reminds me of Munchkinland. They have a Munchkinland in the country Canada. It's called Hamilton. They have oh my gosh, there must be so many witches." And in her opinion, well, as I said, she's literally going after someone who stole her sister's shoes. Okay. So she'd be like, okay, they're good witches. This is incredible. I'm moving to Hamilton. So I have to read Margaret Hamilton's autobiography, see if she ever ended up in Hamilton at the Dosco Steel Factory, saw the fire, and was like, dude, this literally reminds me of Munchkinland. My experiences in Munchkinland when I was there in the 30s. Gosh, I wish she was alive today so I could talk to her about it. Is there a Margaret? Okay, AI, evil. But is there a Margaret Hamilton AI? And would someone be able to link me up with that? Like, I would love... Is it possible to make a AI but like sentient being of Margaret Hamilton? They cloned Dolly the sheep. Who said that they could stop there? Can we make a new Margaret Hamilton and I can hang out with her and I can we can make celiac meals together. Oh my gosh, me and Margaret Hamilton could make a celiac meal together. She would love my twist on Old El Paso tacos. They are gluten-free, the corn shells, so I'd love to just make Old El Paso tacos with Margaret Hamilton, who maybe got her name from Hamilton, Ontario. So yes, Margaret Hamilton, you are a part of the Canadian entertainment industry. Woohoo! Hats off to you. You were the good witch all along, and we look up to you. And, oh my gosh, I just figured it out. Green skin, it reminds me of the green on the top of the Parliament buildings. Wow. So there's green on the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, which is like Canada's Washington, D.C. Why is everything connecting to me? This is so cool. Oh, man. Margaret Hamilton, you are not... I was going to say, you're not the weakest link. If anyone remembers this show. So there was a show where a British lady would yell at people. And it was called The Weakest Link. And she was just so cruel. But we know that anything that happens in England is technically also Canadian because we have the same, you guessed it, king, as I brought up before. Charlie XCX, technically, you guessed it, Canadian. So, do you know who else is Canadian? Well, of course, the Brothers of Destruction. Oh, yes, I'm talking about Liam, and I'm talking about Noel. So, that's something that just happened. Wow, I never thought we would see those two play together again. Yes, I'm talking about Canadian-British band Oasis. Okay, so in England, they have chips. We have Lay's potato chips here in Canada. Do they call O. Henry's Oasis? Because that would make sense to me. So we have these two brothers who wrote all these kick-ass songs. We're talking Champagne Supernova. We're talking Wonderwall. We are even talking about Supersonic. And they have decided to come back next year, 2025, in the summer and play more music together. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Okay, no hate to them, but they remind me of these two other people that I know. They remind me of Well, I was gonna say they remind me of these two people. These very amazing two people. They remind me of two people. Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher. They're brothers. Some say they look like they're twins. And they are British Canadian because same king, Parliament. They are twins. And they remind me of another set of twins. We, of course, are talking about Dylan and Cole Sprouse. Is it interesting that America's version of Canadian British band Oasis, because King Charles, back of money, is Dylan and Cole Sprouse? Has anyone else noticed that? Now, I am just picturing Dylan and Cole Sprouse interacting with London Tipton. No. Okay, sorry. I meant to say I am picturing Liam and Noel Gallagher interacting with London Tipton and Mr. Mosby, and just having a fantastic time at the Tipton Hotel. Wow, I can picture it all right now. I literally can picture Liam Gallagher at the front concierge desk talking to his mom, who has the pixie cut, and she sings in the bar, and maybe they would sing a song together. Here you Oh, I would love to hear Oasis do the Zach and Cody theme song. Here you are in your life. Here you are in mine. Yeah, we have a sweet life most of the time. So, this is something I've been working on for a while, voice control, because I have a habit of only being able to do this voice. Wicked Witch voice. Gollum voice. And Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. So I can only do those three voices. However, now I'm working on doing the Oasis brothers singing voice. Isn't that cool? Okay, I feel like I am getting wicked like the Wicked Witch, and oh, hooray for me. So I can actually picture the Wicked Witch of the West, the Gallagher brothers, in the Tipton Hotel interacting with Mr. Mosby and their mom, who's a lounge singer who has blonde hair. I could picture all four of them. And you know what's so interesting is because, so allegedly there might be multiple dimensions. So there is a dimension where that is the show that people grew up with. They grew up with the sweet life of Noel and Liam, and that's all they know. And then Dylan and Cole Sprouse are in a band called The Sweet Life of Oasis. And that's what they know. But to me, it sounds a little crazy, but to them, that's totally normal. And to me, that is crazy. But what's crazy when you're a Wicked Witch of the West? Yeah! Oh, I'm getting so good at it. I think sometimes it's a confidence issue because I'm scared of what other people will think of me, just like the Cowardly Lion. Roar! He had such a hard time doing that. He would just do little roars. Kind of like Simba. Wow. Walt Disney low-key ripped off The Lion King from The Wizard of Oz, starring Judy Garland and Margaret Hamilton. But part of me wants to say Margaret Hamilton stole the show and she should have won Best Actor or Best Actress. Isn't that weird that she didn't? I think she should have. I'm Margaret Hamilton. You are super duper. Margaret Hamilton, you are super duper. 1,000 more years of Margaret Hamilton memories. Let's go. Let's go. Margaret Hamilton, you are super duper. Margaret Hamilton, you are super duper. Margaret Hamilton, you are super duper. We look up to you. We look up to you. Margaret Hamilton, she is cool, was on Mr. Rogers, also on Sesame Street. They couldn't find that episode 4 years, but then 2 years ago, someone uncovered it. Yeah, and the lost media communities, they went freaking insane. Yeah, they went freaking insane. Hey, they went freaking insane. Yeah, they went freaking insane. Or should I say they went wicked insane because she's a wicked witch. Yeah, she is. That's the sitch. When she's flying, she catches the golden snitch because when she plays Quidditch, she's the wicked witch. She's the wicked witch. Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, she has a wicked pool because she got her ruby slippers back. She got her ruby slippers back. She bought a cool pool. She bought a cool pool. She bought a cool pool that's kind of cold. It's kind of cold so she could jump right in. Jump right in and do a cold plunge so she can no longer have anxiety. Anxiety. No worries for the witch because she has no anxiety. No anxiety for her. No anxiety for me. No anxiety. I think that I could actually be the reincarnation of Margaret Hamilton because I never reveal my age, but I believe if we look into it deeply, I don't believe that I was on the earth at the same time as Margaret Hamilton. So I think I may just be the reincarnation of Margaret Hamilton. So we have 2 reincarnation stories with this podcast. Died 2023, ET Canada, born 2024, Canadian Entertainment Podcast. Died whenever she died, Margaret Hamilton. Born whenever I was born. I cannot reveal my age or generation. I don't have a generation. I'm just me. I have a veneration, yes. Oh, and I don't have Twitter anymore, so I can't see if that's already been said anymore. Puns don't exist for me anymore. I had to give up on puns. You know what? This is a fun little anecdote, but when I started performing entertainment, whenever that was, it could have been any time. It could have been any time. But, it literally could have been any time. But when I started, I did dabble in puns a bit. But if you could believe it, back then, but you know what? A pun can bring things together, a good pun. But then Twitter came along, and then it's like, oh, so every pun been think of. Except when we invent new inventions, then we can make a new pun about that. Great. So I guess I will be having to make a new pun about the new Timothy Chalamet Bob Dylan movie. Oh, great. It is called Go Home or something like that. Never Go Home or something. The new Timothy Chalamet. Don't have a producer. I'm just producing this myself. It's called Never Go Home. Okay. Oh, so my tweet or pun would be on stage. You guys hear about this? So this is my pun. So you guys hear about this new Bob Dylan, Timothy Chalamet movie, Never Go Home? Sorry, didn't Never Go Home, the Spider-Man movie, come out like 2 years ago? Or am I smoking crack like Rob Ford did? Oh, okay. Or am I just part of it? Oh, there was multiverses in there. Oh, sorry, was that just a dream? Sorry, was I part of a multiverse dream and I woke up in a different generation? And now there's a Never Go Home movie starring Timothy Chalamet. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that truly makes sense. James Mangold is directing a new Timothy Chalamet Bob Dylan movie, Never Go Home. I am so excited to see the new Timothy Chalamet Bob Dylan movie, Never Go Home. And yes, that is a mixture of the Gollum and Wicked Witch voice. Woohoo! He drinks his water. He drinks his water. He loves water. Water, water, water. Water, water, water. We love water. Water is awesome. What else is on the list? What else is on the list? Oh, it's ragweed season. Oh, it is ragweed season. You know, a few years back, I used to think I was just allergic to pollen, right? I've had a big pollen allergy most of my life, just like my celiac disease. Is it connected to the celiac? We may never know. That's one of the great questions. As question I'd love to ask God, is the pollen allergy related to celiac? That's the first thing I'm going to ask God. I hope I get to heaven. I'm hoping. We'll see. But I will. Well, I don't know. But I want to do good. I want to do good for others. You know. That's what life's all about. But not because of heaven as a reward, but just out of the sake of doing. I don't know. Who knows? We cannot psychoanalyze too much. Anyways. So little burps, disgusting. I'm a disgusting frog. So a ribbit is close to a burp. There will be a stand-up bit as, okay, yeah. Why don't we try some stand? Have you ever noticed that a ribbit is close to a burp? Wait a second. So, what are frogs sort of like the people that Homer Simpson hangs out with at Moe's Tavern in Springfield? And wait a second. Oh, Springfield. I thought we never knew where that was, and they were keeping that as a secret, and that was the MacGuffin to the whole Simpsons show. But wait a second. Springfield exists in California and Florida? What the heck? And that's where Hogwarts is too? Are you kidding me? At this time, I thought Hogwarts was in England this whole time. But this whole time, Harry has actually been going to Florida and California, but it's a British school, so that technically makes Florida and California part of England, which then makes Florida and California part of Canada because of the King Charles Clause. So technically everything that comes out of Florida and California is also Canadian. Walt Disney, I'm looking at you, buddy. And yes, I went to your dad's hometown a couple months ago, and that was one of my big videos this summer. I went to your dad's hometown, and I stood right where he stood, and I tried to get some entertainment inspiration there. And I hope this career, we're hoping the best for this career. We'll see. I really, for the people who are watching the video version, my look is Nostalgia Critic right now. Nostalgia Critic, I look up to you and Margaret Hamilton. I just want to say I look up to you, Nostalgia Critic, and I look up to Margaret Hamilton. The two goats, Nostalgia Critic and Margaret Hamilton. Oh, Margaret Hamilton. Sorry. Okay, yeah, that was a good bit about the frog at Moe's Tavern. But ragweed season is upon us. And I swear, a couple of years ago, I was only allergic to pollen. But now, I freaking I do a little yard work. A little bit of landscaping a couple days ago. And I had a horrible night yesterday because I took out all these weeds, and some made contact with me, and I smelt some accidentally, and I had a full-blown freaking allergy attack when I got home. I got some little rashes. I also, my nose uh was was leaking like a faucet of the national debt of America. Like it just like keeps on leaking. Sorry, that's for the American fans. I had to throw an American joke. We all have to cater our humor to America, to uh, to win y'all over. We America. We want America. Oh, America. We all want to be accepted by you guys. Not everyone. I was just. That was literally my id talking. Sigmund Freud, whatever that means. Anyways, hi Sigmund. If you're watching this, wherever you are, what's up, buddy? This is like a therapy session, eh? Okay, whatever. But I had a full blown allergy attack from, you guessed it, ragweed, which I never thought I was allergic to. My allergies, from my memory, but I could be looking back with rose colored glasses, used to end sometime around July. Middle of July. Oh, but they're back in September. Wait a second. Am I a multi-dimensional being and I now live in a dimension where I'm allergic to ragweed? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so guys, I'm actually a multi-dimensional being, and guess what? The only time I traveled to another dimension, I must have done it accidentally, but I'm allergic to ragweed now. Great. And I still have celiac disease. Double great. And I have glasses. Triple great. And I am short. Yes, I'm short. I'm as short as I'm shorter than Sabrina Carpenter, who's notoriously short, right? Sorry, I'm not Sabrina Carpenter. I'm another short. I'm another short guy. I'm a short guy. I'm a short guy from Kitchener Waterloo. Formative years spent in the loo, in the kitch. And that's where I tried to become a plumber at one point. During this entertainment journey, I tried to become a plumber. And those years live with me to this very day. Sometimes in the entertainment journey, the Canadian entertainment journey, I live with some regrets, right? Think about opportunities missed, things I didn't do, things I lost out on. But you know what? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I do feel more braver than I was at the start of my entertainment journey. But you never know. I just want to be brave. Like the end of the movie where Cowardly Lion says, I am not afraid anymore. I am not afraid of any more, Wizard of Oz. I'm not afraid anymore. Dorothy, I'm not afraid anymore. And he picks up Toto and he takes a big bite out of Toto and says, I'm not afraid of you, little dog. But Toto's fine. Toto bites him back, and then they just start biting each other like hungry hippos or something like that. They would not get that joke. Imagine I told that I want to travel back in time to the Wizard of Oz set and be like, okay, Bert Lahr, you play the Cowardly Lion. So imagine when you get brave at the end of the movie, you take a bite out of Toto, and then Toto takes a bite out of you, and then you guys are totally like hungry hippos. And then they're like, hungry, what a hudda? Hungry, what a hudda? And then they're like, interdimensional being, and then they point at me, and then Mervyn Leroy, who I think produced or direct, he throws it, he puts me in a bear hug, and he says, "This is an interdimensional being. We must stop him from creating the Canadian Entertainment Podcast." And then this podcast never gets created. And I think that could be one of the worst dimensions you could live in, the one where the Canadian Entertainment Podcast does not exist. And I think that is something we can universally agree on, perhaps. I don't know. You tell me. This, as Sabrina Carpenter might say, she's short. She lives in America, which, as we know, there's 2 states that are technically part of Canada, Florida, California. She might be from one of them, so she's technically Canadian, but I don't know what I'm trying to say, but short and sweet. So this podcast is going to be short and sweet. I'm also, like, I used to talk about myself being short. Now she's running away with it and making a gazillion dollars, which I'm happy for her, but it's like I got too distracted. I didn't focus like the Wicked Witch on one thing. I literally, if I would have focused, I would have been exactly where Sabrina Carpenter is now, and that's my lesson, and that's what I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. But whatever. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But so this was a short and sweet podcast. It maybe clocks in an hour, and I love that for all of us. You guys are some of the realest listeners of all time. Thank you very much. Hey, spread the word about this podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, tell your friends. If you have a friend who you're like, okay, maybe they'll enjoy this, well, let them know. You know, I know you have to put up with a lot of bull crap. Sometimes I listen to a podcast though, and I'm like, okay, not every word the person's saying is awesome, but maybe that's what I try. So there's some bull crap, but there's some fun stuff. We have a couple laughs every once in a while. So thanks for sticking it out. We look up to you. Let me know if you want to do some viewer mail, ask some questions, message the Canadian Entertainment Podcast Instagram. Hey, a good review on the App Store doesn't hurt. I'm just playing with you now. Or whatever, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Pocket Casts. Yeah, just pleading. No. You know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to do the business end of the deal, you know? That's what I was just trying to do there. So I could be proud of myself because I got out of my shell and I did a business thing this week. And I do some of our business stuff, but I gotta remember a lot of things. You have to remember so many things in this life, and never forget that Canadian entertainment industry actually means Canadian show business. It's a show, but it's also a business. Canadian show and business. It's a show, but there's a business as well. And ain't that something? Thank you, everyone. You are thank you. We love you. And this has been another beautiful episode of the Canadian Entertainment Podcast. Thank you for everyone who's listened to it. And let us know if the audio is good. I know sometimes I speak a little quieter, but life's truly crazy. Thank you. And we'll see you again. This podcast seems to come out every 10 days. Maybe this is earlier than 10 days, but we'll see you again very soon. And if you want anything else from me, let me know. What else do you want? And I hope you enjoy this. Thank you for supporting my Canadian entertainment journey. It means a lot. Yeah. Is that cool? Yeah. All right. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, we're gonna end it. All right. All right. Let's cut off the podcast now. Have a dinner. Call a friend. Um, call a friend, and talk to someone you love, and say, "How are you? Are you interested in listening to one of the top 5 Canadian entertainment podcasts in the world?" Well, do I have a podcast for you? But you don't have to do that. Also be like, well, check out this movie, The Wizard of Oz. It's genius. And check out these 2 Canadian British brothers. They just mended their friendship and they're having a total redemption story right now. And we're here for it. That is all I have to say, and I'm sure I'll have some more things to say next week, and we can only we look forward to that, but we reflect on these moments we just shared together, and we say, yes, 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 these were some great times. Yes, yes, yes. I was trying to make a song, but maybe we talk about that. Is that the next song? Big song? Yes, yes, yes. These were some great times. Someone could have those lyrics. If you want those lyrics, they're all yours. If I have any songwriters listening to this. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody. We'll talk to you very soon. Thank you. Thank you.